Hello everybody, I am Nemodius and I am the leader of the Kingdom Ashes of Creation, and I'm very excited to be back with you again today. I'm going to be working on the second video in my current series that I'm doing on the Merc Cryptmaster focused builds. What I mean by that is, obviously I call them the mercenary character that I use the Cryptmaster because my build is built around doing lots of big nasty crits, and I have kind of decided that there are certain dragons in Kingdom Defense especially. This series is basically built around the idea of Kingdom Defense and specializing the Merc Cryptmaster to be effective against each of the different colors of dragons. For example, like a yellow dragon has a debuff blind, which will half your damage output. That's devastating to a Cryptmaster. So with a character that relies on doing big nasty crits, and when they're halved, that's a big deal. Sometimes I have crits of 1.5 million and more. Half that, and wow, you're really cutting into my damage. We can't have that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take each color and try to come up with a build that is specialized to deal with each one of those dragons' debuffs. Yesterday I did my first one on the series, and it was geared toward purple dragons, and we slotted in a spell in our normal range right here at the end called Darkfire Gaze, and basically what that did was it took the dragon's mana away from it. There it is right here. Took the dragon's mana away from it, the purple dragon, converted it to skulls, and it fed itself because it's a purple spell. So it was a win-win, and it worked very well. In that video I think I did like 7.8 mil in one turn, and that ability to control that dragon's mana was just amazing. This is the normal build that I use in PvE content, because this spell right here is really good for PvE because it does wither and decreases enemies' power, does damage. I mean, it's huge. It's a really good spell. But for a dragon, it's just kind of there to keep my green synergy, is what I kind of lean towards at first, because I didn't want to give this up. I didn't want to give up the 4 green synergy plus 70% poison mastery plus the increased fill rate on all my spells. What that did was that allowed me to fill these dudes up a lot faster, and my bread and butter, these first 3, they were always ready to go. But then I suffered when I fought dragons like yellows because their debuff just wrecked me. So I started thinking, hey, let's, focus these builds and maybe slot this one out for something else. Today we're going to be fighting a green though, and that's the next dragon I have available in my kingdom, so it's the next one I'm going to make today. And it's kind of a special situation for me, because obviously, looking at my gear, you can see green, 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 green. I'm obviously mono green built, okay? And what that means is everything that I do is based around green. PvE, PvP, Kingdom Defense, the build is a mono green mercenary Cryptmaster, and it's all built around green. So when I fight a green dragon, that's kind of a special situation. The dragon is fighting me for the same color mana, so I didn't really know if slotting a different spell in this situation was actually worth it or not, and this is the only one. The rest of the dragons, I have a feeling, yes, it's going to be really optimal. But for this one, I'm not really sure if it is or not, but I'm going to go ahead and try it again today. I had gotten been talking to a friend of mine in the Throne of Odin Kingdom, Rob. He's basically the one that has helped me understand this build, get it going, gives me advice, help me learn how to play it. He's amazing. What he likes to do is he likes to slot this spell right here in. Where I put Tangled Skulls, he likes to put Pay in Advance. Now, I've went back and forth with him multiple times on this, because, let me bring both of them up so you can see them. Because my point of view to him was, hey, I want to keep green 4, and I'm also getting a chance to decrease the enemy power, which does work on dragons. I know it works. It's one of the few, it's like the only debuff that I've actually ever seen work on a dragon. And his point of view was, hey, Tangled Skulls is not really optimal. Maybe throw in something like Pay in Advance, because what it does is it causes you to get a power increase plus give melee damage. Your greed is always going to be active because that's how the build works. And he was trying to convince me that the gain in player power translated into a lot bigger return as far as damage dealt over the course of the battle. He would say that the amount of damage that you would gain on your crits and stuff by doing this was well worth losing the green 4 fill rate. And I would kind of go, nah, I don't think so, I don't think so, I don't think so. But now I'm starting to maybe think that he may be right. But I don't think that this is a good choice to leave in the build at all times. But I am starting to maybe think that this might be a good choice to slot in for green dragons. So this is what I'm going to go with today for the Green Dragon Crit Master Focus build. We're going to try this together. This is going to be the first time I've ever played this build, so this is a learning experience for me as well as you guys watching, and we'll see if the green 3 will fill my bread and butter effectively while allowing me to increase my power. Now you can see I only have it at epic, so I'm gaining 103 power per activation. Will that translate into tons of damage? I don't know. And it's going to be really hard for me to kind of see that, because I don't really have a way to parse out my damage in battles and really say, okay, in normal battles I always do X amount of damage and this is an increase that's worth it. But I think as we play it, we'll be able to get a good feel for it and see if, it seems to be effective or not. Because it is going to cause me to generate yellow mana. I'm going to have to generate some yellow mana to cast it. So in the process of playing my green, trying to play keep away with the dragon, not let him have green, am I going to have time to actually throw some yellow in there? Maybe not the first few turns, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. Now, normally, the other builds that I'm going to do, I have a feeling are going to focus around trying to remove the enemy's mana with this additional spell versus trying something like this. But, I want to give the green build a shot and do something different other than just go ham on all green. And, that is very effective. I have posted multiple 8 to 15 million damage per turn with the all green build, but I just want to give this a shot and try something different and see how it works. So we're going to go with this spell selection, and then we're going to go with obviously my normal gear selection. I've got the Royal Guard and Savior set bonuses. The only thing that's different from this video than the last video that I made on the purple dragon was this right here. Yesterday they posted an offer where you could buy 4 superior relics of your choice, and I went ahead and chose to go ahead and raise my Esgard bandolier to mythic. This is such a good piece of gear for this build. It's so sexy for this build because every single time you cast a spell, you convert red gems to skulls. I was doing 1 to 3, now I'm doing 2 to 3. And I hope to see a huge increase in skulls because of this. This piece is just so worth it. I really wanted to do the ring because the bonus on the ring to 60%, I think, at Mythic was going to be really nice as well, especially for Kingdom Defense when you can't just retreat and reset your board to get it how you want it. But this S-Guard Bandolier, man, it's really good in this build, so I decided to go with that. So that was my choice to upgrade to Mythic yesterday. So that's what's changed since the last video I did, and my gear score went up slightly. So this is where I'm at today, and I've got, I think, a couple hours left before my defense actually starts. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and come back in an hour and 45 minutes, and we'll hit this dragon and see what we can do. Today's tier is a 16, and my kingdom has asked that now that we don't really need the ingots for the bazaar so much, can we try to mess around with Spirit Shield for them? So I'm going to go ahead and have Spirit Shield enabled on this dragon as well. That will help out also. That will give me a 25% decrease in his mana gain rate. So that will probably be big for me as well. Help me survive a little longer. Unless anything goes wrong, I'll probably hit the turn limit on this anyway, because the way these builds have been going, I've been hitting the 30-minute turn limit on them and having to then just hurry up and finish my attack because they're just so good. The fallen shoulders are just amazing, and they help you stay alive so long that it's nothing for me to hit the 30-minute turn limit on these. So we'll see what happens today. Famous last words. I'll probably die of a one hit on turn 1 just because I was sitting here saying how awesome it is. So you'll get to see that and laugh at me probably, so we'll see. I'll be back. Okay, everybody, I'm back. Excuse me. Had to let a couple hours tick down before it was actually time to hit the dragon, and it's just about gonna open up. We're on a 16 today, so this, if I remember correctly, this should be the point that the dragons plateau, and yes, it looks like it is, because this is where 16 is where dragons hit their top gear score, and they just basically get higher hit points from 16 through 20, and they do basically the same damage. So we've got 27 million hit points available. And remember, like we said, my kingdom was asking for Spirit Shield today, so we're going to go ahead and apply that. Do just keep in mind, though, that, like I said about this build, I am slotting in pay in advance, and I do not know if this is going to be a smart choice or not, because for me, being I'm mono green, it may have just been a better choice for me to stay all green. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot. Okay, board start. Looks decent. Want to try to clean up as much green as I can so that I don't leave him anything. And I've got some straggling green laying around everywhere. Go ahead and take this and this. I'll go ahead and take this 4 because it's bigger than the 3 match. So unfortunately I'm going to have to leave that and this. Don't really see, oh yeah, I can get this one out of here. I don't really see the way to slide anything else together because these are too far apart. With what's left, I just really don't see a benefit to really moving any of this around. It'll just give more spots for green to drop in for him on the next turn. And basically on my first turn, I'm just trying to build mana anyway. So, I mean, I could take a red match or a blue match, but, I mean, what's the point? That's just going to open up more holes for him. So, I'm going to go ahead and end turn. Got a cleanse and didn't need it. He didn't get any green. And I think what I'm going to start doing in my videos so that I can actually pay attention to what's going on the enemy's turn is right before I do a in turn, I'm going to cut the speed down. That way I can see what the dragon's actually doing better, because I've noticed that on some of my videos I get kind of lost with all the things going on and trying to talk and record and all that at the same time, and it makes it kind of hard to see what's going on, and I have to go back and watch it a couple times, and then that doesn't really do me any good because I didn't get to talk about it while I was actually doing it. So when I can remember and when I don't accidentally flip the board without knowing it, I'm going to try to pause the speed a little, or slow it down a little bit. Okay, so green mana is my top priority right now. So I am going to look around. I think I'm going to cast... boy, a lot of choices here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. Get a transfer of skulls from my belt. I'm going to go ahead and start to bump up my critical hit chance and damage. Get some more skulls. And I'm going to go ahead and with 6 turns I'm going to make some green. Because right now I'm more focused on getting me some mana and clearing it off so he doesn't get it than I am actually worrying about skulls at this stage. Yes, for the first couple turns I will match skulls when I can. But now that I've got this yellow spell in here, I actually forgot on the first turn to even look for yellow mana because I'm so used to not having to worry about anything but green, and it looks like I've got some choices with yellow now, so I may think about trying to get this charged up also. Okay, so let's focus on trying to get rid of our green. Got this. I'm going to go ahead and slap this down and get me some yellow in the process as well. Get this one too. I'll take this one. And boy, he's going to end up getting this one, I can tell. And there's just nothing I can do about it. I could move it up here just to be ornery, just to see about possibly keeping it from cascading down far enough to where he can match it, because if I leave this one here, this is going to clear, that's going to drop down, and then that's going to be an easy mana match for him. So I'm going to play hide the mana and shift it up one. Oh, it won't let me. Never mind. Sounded smart, but it wouldn't work. So yeah, fail. He's going to get this probably. Okay, so with 2 turns, what's smart? What is smart? Let's get this, and let's get this, and boom, we'll see. And dang it, I forgot to slow it down. Okay, he got that. So he got 27 mana on that turn. Not the end of the world, but not where I wanted him to be either. Almost got this one matched. Kind of starting to wonder really if this is worth it or not now, because I can kind of feel the effect on my mana fill rate already. So yeah, I'm not really sure that's the best idea or not, but we'll see. Alright, let's change some red to skulls. Gonna start thinking about trying to do some crits now that I pop this off again. More red to skulls. Got 7 turns, so I'm going to go ahead and drop this. Messed up my yellow match that I had. I probably should have locked it in first. I can get one here. I'll go ahead and slide this skull in first before I do it. I'll go ahead and slide this one in, and that will give me an opportunity for a green and a yellow match. Might as well go ahead and take this yellow. Gonna have to move it twice regardless if I just move it and then move or just do this. So 3 turns. I'll go ahead and take it. I know I'm fixing to flip the board, so I'm going to slow it down. And let's see, probably the smartest thing for me to do is just go ahead and Ah, I wish I had thought about that yellow move previous, because then I could have moved this and then moved this 2 green over. Oh well, is what it is. Let's hope he doesn't match a bunch of mana. Actually, it may be smarter for me to just do this and break that green up right there. That way it's not such an easy match for him with 2 being side by side like that. Okay, now we've slowed it down. Let's see what happens. Okay, didn't get a crit yet. He got some nice mana. Oh, man, he got some nice mana. That was the luck of the mana right there. Wow, he got some nice mana. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do some greed real quick before I pop that off so I can get the damage hit out of it. Let's do some greed, let's do some greed, let's do some greed. Okay, so now let's pop this off and change some skulls to red and do the damage on him. Then let's bump up our crit, bump up the crit. And let's look and make sure we don't want to lock something in real fast. That's nice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my green out. Leave myself enough turns to hopefully be able to clean it all up. It's imperative when fighting a green dragon and you're a green character, because you're trying to play keep away with the mana. Okay, so I got to make smart choices here and make as many green matches as I can. Okay, that cycled the board. Heroic effort, that'll be nice. Hopefully I get a crit, because this will be big. Boom, 631, that was nice. Okay, he's put his debuff on me, which is poison. 25% extra damage. I don't even care, because my fallen shoulders are gonna keep me so alive that it's not even really gonna matter. So this dragon's debuff to me is not really a thing. I mean, it just doesn't worry me at all. Other dragons, yes. Yellow is my worst one probably. This one, not so much. I'm just trying this out because I want to do something funky with the build and see. Let's get a look at where our power stat is, because we did get to pop that one off once, so power went up. I'm not sure if that's not all due to the spell, because there's other things adding to power as well. My critical hit chance is now at 67% and 500% critical hit damage, so we're to the point now to where I'm going to start focusing on trying to get skulls, because I'm going to get some big damage. Big damage. Let's bump up our crit a little bit more. Increasing gold bonus and critical hit damage. So that, always remember to pop your treasure gems off when you can, because they're going to increase your critical hit damage. Cool thing about using these now that I have this spell slotted is I can snipe yellow mana to add to this. This one right here should fill it by taking this one out. And that'll probably fill it. So that'll be cool. I'll get to bump up the power next turn. I wish I could bump it up this turn, because I'm fixing to have a pretty good size crit, hopefully. Change some red to skulls. Okay, that's all the skulls I got. So let's match some skulls, because now we're going to get a big old nasty crit. We're going to get a big old nasty. I hate to pair that mana up like that. Ugh. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put some green on the board. And good, they paired up nicely. Except for that little block there. It's going to leave 2. Well, no, I can get one of them out. Never mind. Okay, I've got 2 turns. I'm going to go ahead and take this one, because I've got a choice here. I've got 2 turns left, and yes, I could do some more skull matching, but I think I'm better off by clearing off mana, because he's already halfway too many more mana matches and he's going to blow me up. So I'm going to go ahead and use my last match to break this gob of green up right here so that hopefully it's harder for him to match. Hopefully green won't cascade right down beside it. My luck, it probably will, so we'll see. Alright, here we go. Big crit, big nasty crit. Come on. Oh, and it fell right down. All this green fell together. That is bad. Oh, very bad. Very bad. He's going to fill it up. Ah, dang it. So this turn is cut short. Spirit Breath has been filled. Defeat the hero is going to be active. I think he's going to take Spirit Breath next turn. This will be interesting to see because he has all 3 filled. So what's he going to do? Is he going to take this one, then Spirit Breath? Or is he just going to jump to Spirit Breath? I don't really know how to answer this question, so I guess we'll find out right here. But I'm going to get all I can get from him before he does. So I'm going to increase power, do a little damage. I'm going to create some skulls and turn red to skulls. Okay, so that's all the red skulls I'm going to be able to convert. I'm going to bump up the crit. And at this point, I will go ahead and pop my green off because I am not sure how this is going to play out. So why not? But one thing I am going to do first is, because I think that I might die next turn, I'm going to lock in all the skulls I can lock in first, because I want that crit to be as big as possible. Okay, so that looks like that's as good as I can do for skulls. Let's go ahead and put green in there. And if I do survive, because he uses one of these, this one will be poison. He's already done that one once. This one will be convert 7 skulls to green gems. So if I do survive, he's still going to end up getting a lot of mana anyway. So, I mean, I'm dead one way or the other. He's already got it filled up though, so I'm betting that he's going to go for Spirit Breath next. Okay, so we'll match this. And that looks to be all the green I can match. And I'll take this last skull. This is going to flip the board, and this is probably going to be last turn. So let's fingers crossed for a huge crit. I want to see where I'm at real quick before I hit this. I'm at 80%, and oh no, that's blocked. My bad. 89% critical hit chance and 670% damage. Critical hit damage bonus. Power is up to that. So if this is a crit, it's going to be pretty sexy. So we'll see. Come on, over 1 mil crit. Heroic effort added to it. Oh, it was only 574, and he jumped straight to Spirit Breath. So that was the end. Only 2 mil damage on this turn. Not the best I've ever put out. I think my best so far to date is like almost 8 million in a single turn, and like 19 million over the course of 3 or something like that. But that was before the overkill mode was put in place, which still kind of sucks the way they designed it. But anyway, that's a topic for another video. So yeah, this didn't perform as well as I thought it was going to. I honestly thought that slotting in that pay in advance spell would do better. But honestly, I really didn't feel the boost from the power. I think I only got to cast it 2 or 3 times. So maybe I just didn't cast it enough to actually make a dent in it. But I kind of feel like my normal green build is just better. Because honestly, the mana fill rate kind of hampered me at times during that battle. So I think what I'm going to do is, for green dragons, I'm going to just slot in my normal and call it good. So this is what I'm going to go for Kingdom Defense green right here. I am going to test it a couple more times just to be sure, But for a mono green Merc build, I'm going to say that I think this works best for me. And I don't know. You can test it and see what you think, but I'm going to go with that because now I've got my green 4 mastery bonus and increased fill rate back. My bread and butter are going to fill faster, and I think I just feel more comfortable with that. Now on the other dragon colors, I'm totally about specializing your build with certain spells. I learned on the last one that I did, the purple dragon, it worked amazing, and I'm totally a proponent of that. So with the next one that I do, hopefully I get a yellow on the next one that I do, because I would really like to do the yellow dragon best out of the 3 that are left. For the series, I have yellow, blue, and red left. I would like to do them in that order if the RNG gods would be good to me and give me those. So I'm going to go ahead and call this short, and I'm going to say thank you for your time, and I am so glad that you're watching these videos. Please help me get better by talking in the comments and telling me your ideas, and by all means, if this content was interesting to you, please think about subscribing and hitting the bell so that you'll be notified when I make more content. If Puzzle Quest is your thing like it is mine, let's hang out together. Alright, this is Nemodius. I'm out.